Today, I'm actually gonna be installing the Z1 VR30 oil pan that just came out. So this should fit rear wheel drive Q50s and Q60s for now, and VR swaps, of course, like my car, because if you don't know, I put the Q50, Q60 3.0T inside my 370Z. So a lot of these new items that are coming out for the VR30 do apply to me. The all-wheel drive guys, you guys it is coming out soon. Just give it a little bit more time. Just like always, the all-wheel drive stuff usually comes out a little bit later. I'm gonna be talking about the oil pan, which is pretty sick, because if you don't know, the VR30 comes with a plastic oil pan from factory, which tends to crack, and a lot of my buddies have already cracked them, been stranded on the side of the road. Thankfully, I've been fortunate enough to not have hit my oil pan and not crack them, but I rather play it safe and you know, play it safe rather than be sorry later. This is another install video, and I usually hate doing install videos, but you know, here we are. It's kind of needed. So I guess let's walk through it real quick. I already have the, you guys can't get this, but it is the Z1 Zyno drain plug. And then as you can tell, obviously, you know, you have the Z1 etched logo and everything. Pretty nice pan. Look at this. It's not bad. It's very nice quality, very solid, pretty thick. It's nice. So honestly, if this thing gets smacked, I'm not even gonna be worried about it. Just looks nice, feels nice. And then of course it comes with a gasket, but I've already put on, because whenever I grab items, especially for installs, and you know, I do YouTube, so I try to make sure that I have everything on hand before I just jump right into it. I'm gonna go ahead and just get started, get straight into it and put it on and just see how it is. Because we're doing the oil pan, of course, we need oil. So, you know, we always run multi-oil. I am doing 5W30, even though the temps are going down. Still gonna stick to 5W30 just because it's a preference. So, and last but not least, so I've been rocking the prototype for a hot minute. Let me take it out, you know what I mean? So here we have a Z1 oil cap. These are pretty cool. I think it's billet. I'm pretty sure it's billet aluminum. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. This is pretty awesome. Been actually rocking the prototype, but in black for about 2 months now. Yeah, this is the final product. Another item where I'm just hyped that we came out with it. Fits every application, VR, VQ, doesn't matter. And I'm pretty stoked about it. So along with the oil pan, we're gonna do the oil, of course. I have everything needed for a regular oil change, and then we're gonna install, this is gonna be the hardest one to install out of all of them. So let's see how it goes. And well, again, for those who didn't know, this is a VR30 swap. So we did have this oil cap on. It was a tester. It might be a little hot, right? Because I just finished doing the exhaust video. Probably gonna give this to my girlfriend. Just let her use it. Black, and everything that she's putting on her car has been black anyway. So, and another fun feature about this one. So the oil cap, as you can see, it's clearly not straight. So it is a little bit difficult at first, but all you have to do is like push it, and then you can actually turn this so that way it can end up in the proper orientation, so that way you can flex in front of your friends, and bam, now you see, let me turn a little bit more. Now you can see the Z1 logo in the correct orientation. Makes a little bit more sense. It's not an exact color match to the hoses, but close enough. I mean, the theme of the car has been pretty much blue, like accents, so it's cool. What are you doing? Poured out now I kind of had a crap my pants moment because the oil in the catch can was milky. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I literally thought my motor might have been bad and blown already, but we're good. Everything's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. It looks like they're 10s, maybe 12s, maybe. I have to check to see what size the bolts are on the oil pan, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that out, move forward. And also I have an OE filter. I don't like using aftermarket filters. That's just me. Looks fairly cut and dry. So if I can install it, anybody else can. That's pretty much the rule I like to stick to. Okay, so let's try and see if we can get it. Okay, there's a little bit of sludge and the motor on the bottom of it. Let me try and see if I can get this for you guys. So just a little bit, but nothing crazy. Went ahead and took off the OEM pan, and I guess we can compare it to the new Z1 oil pan. Don't work on your car when the motor was kind of hot. Yeah.
Did you know that the oil from the cars is actually booty juice?
Oh, guys, thing is like queefing. So the plastic pan, first of all, flimsy as hell, sucks. The new one actually looks like it's a little bit deeper. I don't know if it holds a lot more volume, but you can kind of tell like that it does. But it's pretty wild, I guess. Yeah, those new Z1 metal one sits a little bit taller, but whatever. Let me, honestly, it's super easy. It ended up being 10mm bolts, and I think there's what, like 8? There's not that many. This is super easy to change. Honestly, anybody with just basic tools will be able to get it done. Just make sure you put it back at the Nissan torque spec. Refer to your FSM, that will save your life. But let me get the new one on, and let's call it a day. All right, so for the sake of not having, oh wait, zoomed in. For the sake of not having you guys just watch me screw in some bolts, but whatever, it's pretty simple. Just put these 10s on, don't over torque them, put the new filter on, make sure that the new cap, the new wow, drain plug, there we go, is actually tight. And then you're voila, that's simple. And I go by the standard that if I can do this, anybody can, because I'm just using basic tools, basic 10 and ratchet. So now I'm going to stick to the basic rule of going ahead and pouring in some oil, just make sure it's not leaking out, start the car, make sure it's not leaking, and we should be good. But I was going to go ahead and install the undershroud today too, because I do have a Z1 undershroud that's brand new that I need to put on to protect my bumper, but I'm going to leave it off for about a day or two just to keep looking under the motor, make sure I didn't mess anything up, and then just make sure that we're good to go from here. All right, oil's poured, got that new cap on, you know what I'm saying, we out, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. All right, man. And we are not dripping any fresh oil. I'm gonna pour in a little bit of coolant just as like a kind of, because I noticed that motor's kind of eating coolant a little bit, so it's a little weird, but I'll look into that later, because I really hope it's not a porous block going. I'm gonna start the car, let it run, and then you know, just make sure there's no leaks, because I ain't trying to starve the motor of oils all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, then I gotta do a motor swap. So all right, car's on so far, no leak in oil, so we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up. I'm gonna rate this out of 1 out of 10 how easy it was. It was like a 2. It was pretty easy. Damn, funny. Just make sure, I'm gonna clean up and we can talk about this in a sec. All right, and it's that simple. So I think it's about 0.2 something more quarts of oil that it holds. You have the benefit of having a metal oil pan rather than the plastic oil one that tends to get hit and cracked. Happened to a couple of my buddies. It's just one of those things where it feels nice to have like that overall sense of security. So if you got a VR30, they are available, they are in stock. Once this is filmed now, I don't know how long they'll be in stock. They are in stock, so go ahead and get the opportunity to update your car. Get an oil pan, guys, get the oil pan. VR30, if you have 3.0T, rear wheel drive, please make sure to get the oil pan. Save yourself, what are you doing? Save yourself from a headache. So if you guys don't know already, my name is Ray, I go by Noir. I put a 3.0T in my 370Z, tons of fun. I do have an undershroud and some DRL blockouts, so I'm gonna put on the car, but I'm just gonna wait, go ahead. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of leave it at this now. I'm sorry, I usually don't like breaking up videos like this with like multiple installs, but it's just honestly the timing is bad because it's raining today. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't start on something and all of a sudden it's just like torrential downpour. Sometimes you just kind of get over things and you get over it pretty fast, but now it's kind of the end of an era. So the chassis mounted wing on the 370Z, it was fun, but here we are changing things up. We're finally gonna do something different. I took off the chassis mounted wing because I have another setup on the way. I have no idea when this video is gonna be released, but I'll let you guys know. Yeah, instead of doing a chassis mounted setup, I'm now gonna just do a hatch setup, which will be a lot easier. I'll have access to my hatch again, and it'll, instead of it being just a massive wing for no reason, this is actually, it's gonna be fully functional. Cheyenne already has it, so it's gonna be pretty funny to match it with my best friend on, with, you know, same wing, same pretty much color car, which I am also gonna wrap this car myself. Just gotta buy the material, so please help me out. I need to Bella and I are really trying, if you guys don't know, it's Vicky. Bella is obviously my girlfriend, but like we're trying to figure out what color, I'm talking about her, we're trying to figure out what color we're gonna do to wrap. Dude, give us suggestions please down below. I have no idea what color I want to do on this car. Well, that simple. Wing is now sold, so now it's off to a brand new home while we move on.
Frost.